I've basically stopped watching anime as my primary source for listening, and this will probably be one of the steps that gets you out of a plateau at some point. So I'll be talking about anime for people starting, then the progress I've made on listening since I've changed my immersion sources, and at last, some changes in my mental health due to stopping to watch anime. I'm Ivan, Spanish native with triple years in English, Japanese for 17 months, and as a collegiate athlete, I help language learners who struggle with discipline. Watching anime at the start is probably one of the best, if not the best, way of starting, since pretty much all animes talk way slower than people at real life. So I don't really have anything against anime right now. I think it's just something you should be immersing just if you have less than 1 year into a language. After that, you probably won't get much more from it. Just probably new vocabulary for most of the part that you probably won't use in real life, and that is just depending on the anime that you're watching, of course. For me personally, I knew for a fact that I was going to stop watching anime at some point, although I didn't really think that it was going to happen this year. I was surprised to notice that the transition to watching podcasts and Japanese drama was actually way more natural than I thought. Like, one day I noticed that I was just watching podcast drama, and for some reason I stopped watching anime naturally because I honestly saw it kind of unuseful in some ways. Maybe you are not the person who cares about progress and you will never want to stop watching anime. In that scenario, I suggest to stop watching this channel. The show I've been watching recently is Terrace House, which some of you might already know which show it is, and the progress I've made on my listening and even in slang vocabulary is real crazy because the audio in this piece of immersion is actually real bad. I've had to really concentrate and try to pay attention to what it is they are saying. Sometimes even the music in the show is too loud and it makes it way more difficult to understand. It seems that the show is actually really old too, so the quality is not as good. I will say pretty much that if you're able to understand every word people say in this show, you are pretty much at the pinnacle of native listening. I will even dare to say, and I don't know if this is something that is lacking on my listening skill, but Japanese natives don't have a 99% of comprehension on their listening on this show. I'm pretty sure of that. I've actually been kind of busy these last few days, so passive listening was my savior in this case, and I've been doing it with podcasts in YouTube. I'm surprised to notice that I'm understanding like more than a 95%, I will say. When I don't understand something, it is either because of the audio or a piece of context that I'm lacking, which doesn't really let me understand those words I'm lacking to have a 99% comprehension in that type of material. Of course, if I turn on the subtitles, I will have a 99% comprehension, but that's not the point. So if you have been wondering that question of using or not using subtitles, you shouldn't use them if you want more progress at listening. Although I will say that when you really don't understand something, it's fine to turn up subtitles and see what the fuck they said. Like, there are some moments in which people really mumble their words and it's really hard to understand without subtitles if you're literally not at that place with that person. In terms of attention span, it has been really good, so you probably know already that the dopamine that anime gives you is way more than a YouTube video, depending on the YouTube video, and Japanese drama in general. And so that's one of the reasons about why I think that my mental health and also attention span has been really good, because I've actually enjoyed more my reading sessions. I've actually enjoyed more my Anki sessions too. And so yeah, this is one of the reasons that will get you to actually enjoy more the more trivial things that you do on a daily basis. Also, I personally always had an addiction to anime since like 5 years ago, and it feels powerful to be able to just live an addiction that easy, in the sense that yeah, I basically don't need to watch this thing anymore, even if it gives me a lot of dopamine and even if I'm addicted to it. Of course, I'm not really addicted to it anymore, but like it feels really powerful to live an addiction that easy, honestly. And you will not lie to me here, 95% of animes are fucked up in general, in the sense that they are really sexualized. So this has been another problem that I've encountered myself with every day. So honestly, there's just so much that you can do to stop having an addiction or stop having this problem of literally getting erections from something that is not real and literally fapping with things that are not real. So yeah, I basically had this problem for like more than, I don't know, 3 to 4 years, and I've stopped literally having this problem this year entirely. But like, there's just so much that you can do to actually stop having an addiction if you keep being in contact with that addiction. So for example, if you want to stop smoking cigarettes, if you have friends who smoke cigarettes, you will keep smoking cigarettes always. Recently, I've basically been going to a gym instead of going to the bars I've trained at in calisthenics. And what happens is that in the park I train at, there's just a lot of people that watch anime. And it was really difficult to stop an addiction if literally almost all of your friends are watching anime. That's something that I actually recommend a lot. So if you have a lot of friends who keep doing doing the addiction that you want to live, you should pretty much change the environment, honestly. That is pretty much the thing hindering you to get more progress at something that you like, which is literally your future, right? Because you want to do something with the language, which is Japanese, at your future. You want to work in Japan, you want to go to Japan, you want to do whatever thing that you want, but like you want to do something related to Japanese. So that's it for the video. Check the first link in the description for my Discord community, and be sure to give me a like and subscribe to my channel if you like my content. Thank you.